Okay, in this section we're going to find the area of a regular polygon, and this is an extension of chapter 11.5. We did do this in class, but we are going to go through this just so you can have a little extra piece of information. So the steps, we talked about these. Find the central angle, and we're going to go through how to find that. We also want to take that central angle, we want to divide it by 2, because that's going to get us our triangle with our angle. Then we're going to use some trig. It's usually tan, but it could be anything, SOHCAHTOA. And then we want to find our area. So just as a reminder, our area is, an area of a regular polygon is perimeter times apothem divided by 2. So we're going to try and find our perimeter and our apothem. I think perimeter is pretty easy. If we take a look at this, this is a regular triangle, so we know all the sides are equal. So if this is 4, then we take 4 times 3. There's 3 sides, so we know that the perimeter has to be 12 inches. So there's our perimeter. We're pretty much done on perimeter. Now we gotta take a look at, we have to take a look at our central angle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw, that's actually a radius of our polygon, and here's another radius. So we know that in this triangle there's 3 sides, and I could actually draw 3 central angles. This is a central angle. You could draw another segment up here, but my segments are never that straight on this, so I'm just going to end up leaving this. But you could have 3 central angles. You'd have this one, and this one. And so in order to find the measure of the central angle in a regular polygon, you take the sum of the angles, which is 360 degrees, and you divide it by the number of sides. So 360 divided by 3, it's a triangle. So we know that the central angle is 120 degrees. And what we want to do is we want to think about, well, if that's 120, then if I were to draw a right triangle straight down, what's the measure of this angle? Well, if it's 120 for the whole thing, this is half the triangle, so this would be 60 degrees. And that's actually a very important piece of information. Sorry for the ugly numbers. So let's take that a little bit further. So if this angle is 60 degrees, we have a 60 degree angle there. Zoom in on that. And if we could go back to, let's go back to the triangle. So you have a 4-inch side. And remember the apothem, this is your apothem. Your apothem always cuts the side in half, and it's always perpendicular. So you know that that's a 90 degree angle, and this is going to be 2. So when we take a look at this triangle, we have a 90 degree angle, and we have a side of 2. And we want to find our apothem. And we're going to call it x here, but we know that x is our apothem. So we're going to use some trig. And just to remind you, SOHCAHTOA is what we're going to remember for this. So 2 is our opposite side, and x is our adjacent side. So we're going to use tan TOA, because TOA has opposite over adjacent. So we're going to do tan, the angle goes inside, tan of 60 equals 2 over x. So we're going to go to our trig chart. I don't know if you remember that, but we're going to have to go back to our trig chart, and we're going to look for the tan of 60 degrees, and tan of 60 degrees, I have it highlighted as 1.7321. So tan of 60 is 1.7321, and that equals 2 over x. And we want to go through a little bit of work here. We want to multiply by x on both sides. And then we're going to have a new equation. It's going to say 1.7321x equals 2. Ooh, that's ugly. And then we want to divide by 1.7321 on both sides. 1.7321. So we end up with x, remember x is our apothem, 2 divided by 1.7321, and we get 1.15. So we're going to say 1.2. 1.2. So this is our apothem. Use pink to point that out there. So our apothem is 1.2. So, just to remind you of why the heck we even did that, let's go back. Remember, our formula is A equals P times A, perimeter times apothem divided by 2. So let's plug that in. So, section it off. If we have our perimeter, which we said was 12, just remind you we did it in green there. Our perimeter is 12. Our apothem is 1.2. And we're going to divide that by 2. And we're going to do top times top here. 12 times 1.2. And we get 14.4. Divided by 2. Still have to divide it by 2. So our answer is, remember, this is the area of the regular polygon, is going to be 7.2. And this is inches. And remember, area is always squared. So I know it's inches because of the 4, right? So our area here is 7.2 square inches. And we are done.